Matt, what's your verdict on tonight?
We're disappointed to lose a game. Unfortunately, we've followed a similar pattern, which has happened too often this season, where we've had a boost of a couple of good performances and victories to boot, and then not been able to follow it up physically and game-wise. A bit of physicality against our back line and a couple of poor moments in terms of defending two crosses has led to the opposition being ahead. We still had the two best chances of the first half, and then a real sucker punch of a set-piece goal against. And then as the pressure came onto our game, as always happened, we've really struggled in terms of holding that pressure and being able to play and being able to execute. And really, in terms of our final third play from that point on, chasing a game, we created very little.
In Fleetwood's sense, they probably were happy to stay in the game as long as possible at 0-0, and the bonus for them at the start was to get the goal. What might you have done better to defend that cross?
Well, we got to stop the crosses, first and foremost. No disrespect to them, it was a direct ball in our channel, and it's materialised in defending the cross. In fairness to Jack Hunt, he did fantastically well because Stockley was unmarked from the first cross, but then to have another unopposed header and the ball to drop down for a number of seconds in the box and for a player to turn and finish is so frustrating on our part. Like I said, that's been a constant theme of a weakness of the team so far this season. And then from that point, we are really chasing the game. Like I say, bar Chrissy's chance and Luke Thomas's chance in the first half, the pressure and the feel of the whole atmosphere and the need to get back into the game was just too much.
There was some frustration amongst the spectators about, I think, the tempo of the play. Did you feel it was a bit too measured?
Well, it depends what you mean by measured. Is this team had got the quality or the capabilities to kick and chase it? No. They're a passing team. We are a passing team. Unfortunately, as the game went on and the night went on and the conditions got a little bit worse, and obviously ball speed was a problem. But in terms of a bit of initial tempo, I did feel we could play a little bit quicker. But that's also individual quality. Our building moments actually transpired into some better moments higher up the pitch, but they just didn't materialise into box threats. Really poor in relation to that. But then you might be looking to a set-piece moment to get you into the game or back into the game. We had 11 corners and another half a dozen wide free kicks, all of which came to nothing. And that's a little bit of a story of where we are. We're second best too often in terms of the crash zone balls, including both boxes.
What did you see for Chris's second yellow card? Was it something he did or something he said?
Yeah, I've watched it. If he books Chrissy like he did, I've got no problem with that. Then he's got to book 3 or 4 players, including the 2 who were wrestling Chrisley and had hold of him in the goal and around the goal mouth to start with. So we'll accept that second booking and sending off, but then the consistency has to come with the other players getting booked as well.
How did the 3 young lads you brought into the side, well, for their home debuts tonight, how did you think they did?
I thought Brandon was our one to go to again. I thought he showed his quality. We still want to get him high up the pitch. The circumstances of the personnel we've got at the moment isn't allowing us to do that. We might be able to materialise that this weekend. I thought he showed moments of quality. I thought it was a difficult night for Harry. It never really came off for him. The game bypassed him a little bit, so we'll look for improvements in relation to that. And then Elkin was finding his feet in terms of lower league football, different to what he's been playing. And that first goal is an example of just being beaten into channel. So I think improvements from all, but I think there's a severe lack of the capability of the group to back up a physical performance, which we had at the weekend on a Tuesday night when the pressure's on. You
did say before the match, winter football and a physical approach from Fleetwood was what you expected. No surprise then.
No. But we need to get to a point where we can control games where we're not at our best in possession. We have to understand that there's different ways to win a game of football. That's why I was so pleased after the Oxford game and to a certain extent the Exeter game. But as has been the pattern, we've made a couple of steps forward, then we take one huge step back. And certainly in terms of the gap which we've come into, that gap's not going to get less and less if we keep on letting ourselves down like that.